There will inevitably be a new iPad mini on the horizon, and this iPad, this particular Apple product, has quickly become my favorite product that Apple offers. The size, the price, and the performance is just right. And for me, it is the perfect tablet. However, there's always room for improvement. And so in this video, I'm going to be talking about the things that I think Apple can improve upon when the iPad mini 7 is inevitably released. The first one is the most obvious. Look, we have M1 and M2 chips on the lowest tier desktops that Apple offers, on the lowest tier laptops that Apple offers. Both Mac Minis and MacBook Airs have M1 chips in them, and for me, it's only a matter of time before an M1 or an M2 chip makes its way into an iPad mini. The performance that an M1 or an M2 chip can put inside of an iPad mini will take it to the next level. That means you can edit Final Cut Pro videos on here. That means that you can do Logic Pro X sessions on here. Yes, you can do them on the iPad Air right now. Yes, you can do them on the iPad Pros right now. And I know that those applications are meant for more Pro products, but we've shown over the last few years that the M1 chips can do phenomenal things. I myself have downgraded, if you will, to an M2 Pro Mac Mini away from my M1 Max MacBook Pro that I had. Sold that laptop, and now my Mac Mini is my main computer, which has turned out to be a great decision for me. So imagine being able to take this on the go and editing Final Cut Pro videos. Imagine to be able to take this on recording sessions and to use it with Logic Pro X. Imagine something so small that you could easily film with it, like they're advertising that you should do with the Final Cut X program on the iPad, but also it weighs absolutely nothing. This to me would be a huge game changer and would justify the $50 per year price for Final Cut and or Logic Pro. The next thing I'm hoping for is cinematic mode on the iPad. Look, I think that this singular camera is actually really good. I think the front camera is really good as well. I use this a lot for secondary cameras or anything like that when I'm filming multiple angles in my YouTube videos. I actually do use this camera quite a bit. The microphone is good quality as well, but if we could add cinematic mode to this, then I think that would be a huge game changer as well, because then you just have more options that you can work with. This already has time lapse and slow motion. It's only a matter of time before you add cinematic mode to it as well. Same goes for photos. If you can add portrait mode to the iPad mini, then that would be a big plus as well. Speaking of photos, I think upgrading the back camera and the front camera just a smidge would be a big change in the right direction. The iPad mini 6 already has great cameras that I use for FaceTime calls and for filming all the time. But if you could upgrade those cameras, then I think that the move going from an iPad mini 6 to an iPad mini 7 would totally be justified. Okay, next up, one of my personal favorite features of the iPad mini 6 is the fact that there's Touch ID right there. That thing is absolutely amazing. So quick and so easy. But I will say that sometimes it's a little inconvenient depending on how the iPad is placed. If I'm watching something from afar and I have it set in landscape mode, now I have to take this finger and kind of unlock it like this. Or now I have to kind of move around and do this, which is a little inconvenient as opposed to unlocking like this, which is fine. This is great. I love this. Give me this all day, every day. However, if there is a Face ID option, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I'm not a huge fan of Face ID, but if we could do Face ID and Touch ID, then I think that is the real winner, to give me the option of unlocking with both. If we're in a dark environment and Face ID doesn't work, Touch ID to the rescue. However, if this is in an inconvenient position and I need to unlock, hey, if you could do Face ID real quick and unlock the iPad, then that would be a much better option in my opinion. Combine the two together and you have a winning formula for sure. Next up, I'm not usually one for colors, but I think the iPad mini begs itself to have multiple colors, to kind of follow the new iPad 10 treatment of 5 or 6 multiple colors that you can choose from into an iPad mini. It would give it that much more identity, if you will, and would make it that much cooler of a product as well. I think that if you have multiple colors, then that just gives it a little bit more personality. Imagine having a blue one, a pink one, a green one, a white one. This would be a very cool thing to have, and then you can kind of mix and match with cases and all that kind of stuff as well. Side note, this case that I do have, I showed it off in the previous iPad mini video that I talked about. Many of you asked me what case it was. I'll have the link for this case below. It's a really slim case that really doesn't take up that much footprint on the iPad. I absolutely love it. It's super durable. It comes with this flap as well that you can basically just snap and attach to it like so, and close it off and you're good to go. You have your little bookcase here. You can use this to hold back the iPad just like that to make it at a different angle. And if you don't want that, you simply just take it off and you're good to go. super magnetic. Love this case. I'll put the link in the description box below, along with other iPad accessories that I use all the time in the description box below. Finally, the biggest upgrade that I think Apple could make to the iPad mini lineup is this. You already have USB-C, that's a win. You already have Touch ID, that's a win. This amazing form factor is already a win. So what could you do to make it that much more appealing for someone who already has the 6 to go and get the 7? Well, upgrade the storage. At 64 gigabytes, the base storage of the iPad mini 6 is criminally low. In 2023, I think 128 should be the absolute standard. And if Apple could find a way to keep the price point exactly the same, not touch that, and bring this up to 128 gigabytes versus 64 gigabytes, then I think that is a big win. That, coupled with the introduction of an M1 or an M2 chip in here, which allows you to work on Final Cut Pro projects, on Logic Pro projects, and to save them internally on this iPad, would be a huge win. And so I think that if you were to upgrade the storage from 64 to 128, that would make the appeal of upgrading from an iPad mini 6 to an iPad mini 7 that much better. But those are just my thoughts on some of the things that I think Apple could do to improve upon the already amazing iPad mini 6. What do you think about the iPad mini 6, and what do you think could be on the iPad mini 7? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more content from Arc Overload. My name is Amir. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.